Kuroshi and I set out for one last time to try to stop Alduin and save the world from breaking apart anymore. Will we prevail? Join us on the final episode of Exploring Skyrim together. Just like the start of every day, it's time to try to upgrade our armor and weapons to help us out. There's no better armor for sale, so I'm going to upgrade this blade's armor and see how much of an improvement it is over my steel armor. As per usual, none of it's really an upgrade, and a waste of time and money. We immediately set out to go north of Winterhold to try to find an Elder Scroll. Along the way, we see more wildlife, which, once again, isn't too much of a challenge and has us feeling pretty strong.
Horkar meat is on the menu.
Navigating the ice up to this outpost has me feeling just like Kuroshi.
Water avoidance activated.
After all the ice hopping, we finally make it to Septimus Cygnus' outpost. Once inside, Septimus starts to tell us how we can find an Elder Scroll. Careful with that urn. Only took about 6 minutes to break the game this time. I'm sure that's a one-off and won't be seen again. Septimus sent us on our way, and it's time to go explore a dwarven ruin. But along the path, we see some more wildlife, and while bears are scarier than the wolves or horkers that we fought already, it's still not too much of a challenge. And we gotta continue our local tradition of killing and robbing anyone we meet on the road. He doesn't even really have anything that good. Oh, looks like Kuroshi's having trouble with an ice wraith.
I see no enemy but he sees me.
I guess the game's starting to break down too much. Let's go to the Kuroshi cam and see what this fight looks like for her. Yeah, this is gonna be common. Welcome back. How hard can invisible enemies even be? Oh, I get to figure it out now. The Skyrim Together Reborn mod has been pretty damn fun, and it was really good early on with very little sync issues, but we noticed as the adventure continued, we would see different enemies, and these invisible enemies and crashes became very common later on. But at least we're able to continue. I see. After one crash each fighting the invisible ice wraiths, it's time to see if we can both see this guy. Alright, I think we're good to go. We came up on the dwarven ruin we needed to explore, and honestly at this point, we kinda just want to blow through this as quickly as possible, so let's find a bucket. Here, try to use this lantern to clip through. Oh right, you can't see objects from the other person. Well, I don't really know how to do this.
Watch the master at work.
Yeah, nice TCL command. I'm not gonna argue with results. We could just no-clip through this gate, but let me show off why you don't need to put a single point of skill into lockpicking. First try! At this point, we're actively breaking the game by going into the dungeon backwards, but we still get the same triggers of fighting the two NPCs here, and taking them out. The greed consumes me. Surely a centurion won't be a problem.
I'm already gone.
Nope, I'm out. Once inside the area of Blackreach, we quickly found out that all the dwarven spheres, centurions, and all the Falmer were pretty high level and tough for us, and we were barely getting by. Maybe the lack of armor and gear upgrades that we had been facing was finally coming home to roost. Either way, we didn't want to stay here too long or get into too many engagements that would be troublesome, so we took the fights that we needed to, and then decided that we'd just run through the area. I shouldn't have taken that, that's just going to break the game more. The Falmer and Dwarven contraptions were pretty damn annoying, but god, nothing hit harder than these Charuses. No panic, no panic, okay, we can't go there, panic, panic, kill these things, get them in the spinner. Go middle, go middle. Come on, come on. Easy fight. With Blackreach successfully ran by, it was time to head inside a tower and finally find the Elder Scroll that we were looking for.
Are these Elder Scrolls?
No, those are just scrolls. Coming into the final room of the dungeon, it's time to use the cube that Septimus Signus gave us and figure out this puzzle. How do you solve this puzzle, you may ask? You just push buttons until it finishes. God, I'm good at games. With enough button presses, we finally got a nice little cutscene and an Elder Scroll.
The game just gave me 4 scrolls.
Well, the more the merrier. Let's go read this scroll. It's time to head to the throne of the world and read the scroll and finally figure out how to defeat Alduin. I wonder how this is going to work with two... And defeat Alduin. This quest was the best example of Skyrim Together Reborn's shortcomings. With unique triggers such as grabbing the Elder Scroll, causing 4 duplicates to come out to Kuroshi, and needing to read the scroll at the throat of the world each to progress the quest, which was heavily desynced and had many crashes, this mod just isn't able to do all the quests. It is able to do a lot, and there were some desync issues when generally just exploring, but the questing is really the core of the game, and it was not clean with this mod. But enough griping. It's time to take down Alduin together. By together, I mean me and Paarthurnax, because Kuroshi doesn't exist anymore. Due to the desync caused by needing to read the scrolls to progress the quest for each of us, this fight didn't have Kuroshi, and she actually had her own Alduin, whom she couldn't actually harm, but could harm her. She was also stuck casting the Ice Blizzard scroll, and couldn't use any other items or attacks. So it looks like it's time for a one-on-one fight. God damn it, Paarthurnax. This fight also saw the return of a bug I haven't seen in a while. I can no longer power attack, which is really useful for stopping Dragon's Breath attacks. Since I can't use power attacks, time to try out this Dragonbane blade that the blades had. It does a little bit more damage, but without being able to interrupt Alduin's attacks and only using melee, this is going to be a tough fight. And I don't really want to touch the difficulty either or change any settings, lest it break the game more. At least I have infinite respawns with this mod, so time to shout him out of the sky. What's going on? Oh, the shout was unequipped, as it does. And we got some cool visual glitches going on too. Well, without touching the difficulty, and with our lack of preparedness from before, and only being one of us together, this fight was pretty brutal. And took a lot longer than it should have. At least the ending's par for the course from what we've come to expect with this mod, with Alduin and I simultaneously killing each other. I'm claiming a victory on that one. Amount of deaths be damned. Waking up to join the conversation between Paarthurnax and Alduin, Alduin's trying to be a little bitch and run after that complete ass beating he just received. Paarthurnax recommends we capture a dragon to try to get information on where Alduin is, and recommends that we go to Whiterun to use Dragon's Reach to perform that task. First off, we gotta find Kuroshi, though. Well, I can see her in Whiterun at least, but it looks like she's still glitched and can only cast the Scroll of Ice Blizzard.
Alduin has cursed me.
Maybe you should try restarting your computer for the 3rd time. Still got those cold hands. Good enough.
I can't swing or use items.
After another restart of the mod launcher, it looks like we're good to go. Let's go up to Dragon's Reach and get this quest underway. It's right up the stairs, past the naked wildlife of Whiterun. And I did pick up a disease earlier, so I've got to stop by the shrine to cure myself. Someone should cure Skyrim of Heimskr here. Jesus.
I'm on it.
I ain't helping with this one. Well, the guards have used their magical sword to teleport Kuroshi into prison, so before we continue on with the quest, it's time for a little jailbreak.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen.
Don't worry, we'll get you out. We just gotta make sure that no one's looking when we go to pick the lock, and hope for an easy lockpick. Success! The guards don't really seem to mind her walking around, but they do get upset if they see me trying to lockpick, so before we try to pick this chest with her belongings, we need a distraction for this guard. That should about do it. And there we go. The chest is open, and we can get back into it. So now she just needs to reclaim her gear, and we're good to go.
It has been locked again.
Kuroshi going down and being respawned in the prison's actually probably good for us here, because that means she'll be in the same area instead of running back to Dragon's Reach, so hopefully the chest remains open for her. Now we just gotta find which cell she's in. These two are locked and these two are open. Oh, there you go. Come on out. Huh. The door doesn't seem to be synced. But damn, this is a nice cell. Maybe you can get the key from him. I'm sure you'll win this time. And you know what? This game is breaking a lot right now, but for once it looks like it's broken in our favor. What a flawless escape plan.
They won't be able to tell the difference.
With a successful jailbreak, it's time to buckle up for some dialogue. First, the Jarl of Whiterun agrees to help us if we can bring peace to Skyrim. Jesus Christ. To achieve this, we go to the Greybeards, who offer to do a peace summit between the Stormcloaks and Imperials. Our next stop is Solitude to get General Tullius on board to be the lead negotiator for the Imperials, and then we head over to Windhelm to get Ulfric Stormcloak on board. Part of convincing Ulfric to attend the peace summit is getting the Imperials on board first, so thank God we went to Solitude first, otherwise we would have had to fast travel to Solitude again, and back to Windhelm, and good God, we're up at High Hrothgar. It's time for the negotiations to begin. The Thalmor don't seem too happy with us after attacking their embassy. Thank God Ulfric gives us a way to screw them out of the negotiations right away. The negotiations are pretty straightforward, with each side just ranting at the other on how much they hate them, and occasional quips to the Dragonborn to ask what should be done. The hell is that hand for? It's the Phantom Hand. Even in the most peaceful and mundane part of the game, this mod is really breaking. At the end of the negotiations, both sides agreed to shuffle around a couple cities and trade a little bit of territory, and we're not really concerned with that. We're just happy that they're going to have a momentary peace deal so that the Jarl can help us capture a dragon. Esbern does bitch to us a little bit about how Paarthurnax is a dragon and dragons are bad, but he ultimately tells us the dragon's name that we need to capture so we can continue on with our quest.
The Jarl decrees a cheese tax for all of Whiterun.
While summoning Alduin earlier was a massive headache, we ultimately got through it. Summoning Odahviing is a lot worse. This quest breaks a lot in solo player, and it was a lot worse in co-op. We tried leaving zones, loading games, restarting the mod, restarting the whole game, restarting our computer. Nothing worked. We just could not get this quest to work properly. Eventually, using some console commands and loading back further saves and replaying everything, we did manage to get just a little bit further, just to the point where we can talk to the Jarl and say we're ready to trap the dragon. After that, however, many crashes. At this point, loading any save after saving Esbern would lead to an instant crash to either of us when we both connected to the server at the same time. Given how far back we'd have to go, and the fact that we spent a lot of time and couldn't even get this to work now, we decided to go out on our own terms, which for me meant claiming the Golden Claw from that first quest, which I so rightfully deserve. I'm ready to die happy. Looking back at Skyrim together, it was honestly a blast, and just running around adventuring with someone else was a really fun experience. A lot of the quests, especially the main ones with unique triggers, did break a lot, and I'm sure more patience and console commands could be used if you really wanted to have a nice time with questing, but we were ready to let Alduin win and destroy this world. Or we could destroy it. Yes, this'll do nicely. Excellent test launch. Now what if the two of us do that in an enclosed space? We're going out on our terms. It was fun, Skyrim.
Thank you, Skyrim. Good luck in hell.
Alright, Kuroshi. It's been a hell of an adventure. I'll see you on the other side. if we make it. Good luck!
تشيزر